Story number one. Women and pedophiles have been in a lot of headlines. Yes, I said a lot. If you haven't been keeping an eye on the news, women have been all over the place being raped, molested, brutalized, killed. Unbelievable. Court says that it's now legal for female inmates to be forced to expose their genitals in a training exercise. If you haven't been keeping an eye on the news, some women have not only just been getting killed in prison, but they've been getting raped by officers. So story number one, that's why I crept into the top 8, because women are constantly being victims of some types of violence. If it's not domestic violence, it's something else. They have to protect themselves. Not only, there was a story that surfaced a few weeks ago about a woman who was on an airplane and they forced her to cover up. So women are making a lot of headlines. They're also saying that a growing number of expectant mothers are now using weed or cannabis while pregnant. And I don't think medical marijuana makes it any better. So women's minds are now trained to be able to believe that weed is also beneficial to use while being pregnant. So story number one, that's why I'm telling you, this is an interesting story, and why it will get even better or even gain more steam during the weeks ahead. They're talking about how Trump's presidency may be making Latinos sick, especially pregnant women. So, come 2020, this president has to get not only the minority vote, but the majority of women's vote as well. So it'll be a big challenge to see how voters respond when they're talking about how the president is making females sick. Unbelievable. 21-year-old Ohio woman accused of deliberately slamming car into and killing a family of 3. So this is women have been making a lot of headlines. They've been. I guess the question that people are just asking themselves is are women are they changing because of the atmosphere, because of the culture? I think there was a story that surfaced on public media a few weeks ago about how this new culture that we live in is affecting women's mental health very, very bad in a bad way. So there's also a story that surfaced in about how a pro-life leader claims that Planned Parenthood CEO was ousted because of the company is driven by abortion. You've seen a lot of headlines about how women who have to make a choice about their fetus are trying to protect their bodies by saying that it is justice in their own rights to have abortions at their hands. So they're saying that it should be legal for women to make this decision about abortion. And you see some states cracking down, like Alabama and some other states as well. Mississippi State House candidate kills his wife and then himself in a murder-suicide. Trump bans family planning clinics from abortion referrals. So it says story number one does not seem to be going anywhere when it comes to women. Like I said, they're being molested. I think there was a report I think I reported a few weeks ago how there was been over 50,000 deaths when it comes to women. You can even look at the R. Kelly case, and we look at some of these entertainers, even with Nicki Minaj canceling her trip to Saudi Arabia because of the fact that they've had strict laws against women. Some of these women have even had genital mutilation. They've been just when it comes to women's rights and women's issues. You can even look at the U.S. soccer team, how they're talking about equal pay. That's why story number one crept its way into the top 8. Army recruiter who called himself Colorado Batman allegedly solicited girls as young as 10. So that story said women are I just don't see story number one going anywhere anytime soon. When you have there was even some local stories about how there's been a lot of pedophiles. They're even being pedophiles released from prison just because of the prisons are getting overcrowded, and people just try to find a way to just satisfy their sexual appetite, and they're going after females as young as 10, and some of them are 8 years old, some of them are even babies. Like I said, there was a local story that made it about a guy who worked at a gym, how he even got in trouble. He had child pornography. Air Force major accused of murder after deputies find wife's remains. Mom says her daughter her daughter's protein-packed diet contributed to an unexpected death. So even when it comes to women and their diets, plastic surgery, feel like being liked, being loved on social media. Story number one is I can guarantee this story will probably stay alive. Here in the Mediator, me, Brian Westwood, is my supreme duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines developing news stories. If you want to help me out in any way, all you have to do is visit www.metod8inc.com, methodating.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or you can sponsor a program. And like I said, there was tons of stuff to do on the website if you want to check out the stories that almost made it in on our Twitter feed. If you want to do your own research on the stories that did make it in, just visit the website www.metod8inc.com, where all you have to do is buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. Help us out.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.